Motherfucker! Sorry, I forgot how to start these things. Welcome to the Bartenders Anonymous podcast. This is episode 15, I think. I'm almost starting to lose track. I feel like when I did last week's, I saved it as episode 15, but it was actually 14. This one is 15. Not that it really matters. Nothing really matters. But here we are. We're still doing this. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm running out of shit to talk about just because my life is so at a standstill with DUI classes, and I only work twice a week. But, yeah, I don't know. So I'm just kind of existing. I'm kind of just in survival mode. But, life continues, and you just go to sleep, and you wake up, and you go, I gotta eat food, and I gotta be alive. So that's what I've been doing, basically. Trying to get my stupid classes done. I have very quickly become like the teacher's pet because I show up and I am not a moron. and so that makes me top of my class. So whoop-de-fucking-do. I'm the smartest kid with Down syndrome, the coolest guy at shenanigans. So there's that. I'm going to knock these classes out as fast as technically possible by just showing up to them. And that's the whole thing. I went to my first quote-unquote counseling session because I have to do that twice a month. And my counselor's hearing aids were almost dead. And so we just set a quick little goal, and we talked for like 5 minutes, and I peed in a cup, and I was on my way. So that was my counseling session. I'm like, wait, no, I have more feelings I'd like to talk about. She's like, my hearing aid is, sorry. No, have a good day. Fuck, I said my name. Now we're going to have to go back and delete that. Gonna have to remember how to cut stuff out. Not that it matters, all 5 of you that listen to this. Yeah, viewership's down this week. Y'all are busy? Too busy to listen to my stupid podcast? Come on, set your priorities. Just kidding. Live your lives. Eat food and sleep. And exist. And breathe air. And drink water. Don't forget to drink water. Let's see. My 2 days of work that I've worked. I'm going to work tonight, actually. Made it through my... It's funny because my schedule is literally reversed from normal humans where I work 2 days, which is Saturday, Sunday, and then I have 5 days off Monday through Friday. So my life is very strange right now. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter. That's just where I'm at this point in time. So whatever. Did have my busiest day of work last Friday. Because I actually worked on Friday. And I had my first, got my shit kicked or whatever. But we got through it. It was like the first time I actually kind of started to lose my temper. I think it was last week. Hope I didn't talk about this already. But whatever, got through it, survived, and no, afterwards they're like, no, you did good, you got through it. Like even our bartenders that have worked here for like 15 years would have had a really hard time with that. So good job getting through it. And then I was talking to the dumb guy because I kind of snapped at him at one point because I was like in the weeds, so to speak, and he's like, asked me a question, and I was like, what? And he's like, I'll just type it in. And I'm like, yeah, do that. And, we got through it or whatever. And he asked me some stupid question later. He was like, do you think I'm arrogant? And I'm like, yes. Yeah, definitely. When you first started, you were. And, whatever. We had this weird conversation. And I was like, but we're all arrogant. Like from time to time, so whatever. And he's like, yeah, I guess everybody is. I'm like, yes, you more though. And then we got talking about the Friday night. He made some weird little comment about he's like, yeah, I heard you were catching some flack too. And then he just kind of walked away, and I was like, what, motherfucker? Who's talking shit about me? So somebody probably said some comment about me, and I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna let you get in my head. But it's been in the back of my head for a week now. So he got me. Mission accomplished. made one little comment, and I'm like, you motherfucker. But whatever. Can't let people get to you. There's always going to be some shit talking. But I'm like, if they didn't say it to me, like something I was messing up, must not have been that bad. But I was being a dick for like an hour. So whatever. Let's see. I had my first night of actual friends coming in to see me at work. And they're all kind of drunk and stuff. But it was fun to see some friendly faces in my new place. And the one guy was like, he's like, how dare you keep this from us and not tell us where you're working so we can't come see you and bother you. And I'm like, yeah, well, I've been kind of keeping it low key. So, and it's funny because I was messaging them and they were kind of wanting to come down to bother me. And I like looked up from my phone and it's just all these families just eating dinner. And it's like kind of quiet country music playing. And I was like, I'm going to not respond to you guys for a while because I'm not going to invite you all down here in the middle of dinner time. There's like kids in there and shit still. So I was like, you guys, maybe they'll show up later, but I'm not going to invite you down right now. And they end up showing up like an hour to close, which was perfect because they're all drunk and being loud. And the one guy like knew one of our wait staff and he's like bothering her and hitting on her and stuff. And because they went to high school together or something. And so it's kind of funny to listen to that. And they, took some shots and da-da-da. And sure enough, they leave, and my lady gets fucking hammered. And I thought she was home and safe. Did I talk about... I feel like I talked about this already. Maybe I just talked to somebody about it. But they call me at like 3:30 in the morning, wake me up because I'd fallen asleep already. And they're like, can you come pick us up? And I'm like, no, you fucking idiots. I can't drive for one, and for two, no, because you guys are idiots. So I was like, whatever, figure it out. And yeah, then she shows up back at the house and is just hammered and starts, we get into it a little bit, and full disclosure, we are separating. She's got an apartment lined up. We're keeping it kosher for the most part, but we are separating. And so she fucking cries on the couch for like an hour, and whole drunk girlfriend thing, and it's all the emotions coming out, and so I'm up till like 4 in the morning dealing with that. And, she's kind of fine the next day, but that's going to happen when you break up and still live together. So whatever, is what it is. I got too much shit going on to really stress about it right now. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with my life, so dealing with my DUI stuff is priority number one. And then, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with the next 5 years. So I was talking to some dudes at work the other day, and I was like, yeah, I got a 5-year plan. It's, I'm still working on it. All I've got is the title so far. So in due time, it'll kind of work itself out. I'm not too worried about it, but just one day at a time, knocking out DUI classes, bullshit. Go to work once in a while to give me a change of pace. So life is fine for the most part. Trying to just stay positive and knock everything out and whatever. Been watching a lot of TV shows. Knocked out the last season of The Mandalorian. I moved on to the Boba Fett series, which is pretty good. Watching them fly around with their jetpacks and shooting bad guys and all that is very inspiring. And then me and the lady to just give us something to do when we're just at home together. We've just been knocking out The Walking Dead. Luckily, there's like 11 seasons. So whenever we're both home together, it's just like, want to watch The Walking Dead? We just watch like fucking 4 episodes. And that kind of helps us keep it kosher. So there's a will, there's a way. Try and survive any awkwardness and just survive. And it will get better eventually. So, yeah. Been riding my bike a little bit. I've found that if I ride my bike real hard one day, I am sore for like 3 days. So haven't been riding that much. But in due time, I will be in bike riding shape again. I am down to 174 pounds, which is pretty good. I've lost like 5 pounds since my DUI. So not drinking has been healthy in that aspect. Trying to eat relatively healthy. Trying to just eat bread once a day instead of 3 times a day. And that helps quite a bit. Got a first compliment on my dead fish hat that I sewed. That's a gross burp. At the vape store of all places. They would be the ones to compliment my hat. My custom skeleton. She called it a fishbones hat. She goes, "I like your fishbones hat." And I was like, "I'll take that. Thank you very much." Would you like me to sew a bunch and bring them down for you to sell? I didn't say that, but it crossed my mind. Yeah, get my freaking product into the vape store. Whew, that would be on top of the world. Oh, no, I've been trying to figure out some kind of business plan of opening some kind of shop or cafe, or opening a bar seems way too difficult, and liabilities and all that. So I'm trying to figure out some way for me to own my own business in some way, someday. So I've been throwing around some ideas. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Kind of started working on a little bit of a menu. Maybe like some drinks, some coffees, some simple food items. But I have a lot to learn with that, where I'm going to have to take some kind of business management class at some point or something, so that I know just the rough ins and outs of how to run a business. It's funny because I've actually been getting a little bit of just getting the gist of it just by working at a small town bar, where I'm kind of seeing the staffing and the inventory and the whatever, the profit margins to some extent. So just working in a small town business, I think, gives me a little bit of comprehension of how it works. But then actually knowing the technical side would be a whole nother thing. I'd have to actually take a class. So once I'm done with my DUI bullshit, those classes that I don't necessarily want to take, DUI classes, learning so much, talking about my feelings and my brain and my thoughts and my thought process, and how negative thoughts kind of fuck you up and with your behavior and everything. And so as much as I can try to not roll my eyes, I will learn stuff in my dumb classes. But then when I'm done with that, I can actually pick a class that I want to take. So I think when I'm all done, I might actually keep just working very part-time, and then I can have an open schedule so that I can look into classes of some kind. Not the worst idea in the world. Also, if I could get my sister, who is a very talented artist, if she could figure out how to get some kind of certification, I'm like, yo, I'll fucking pay to open a shop. And you can be the artist. So there's some options we're rolling around, but everything's going to take time. But for now, I got my dumb little podcast that I love to do. And I think everything else will kind of just fall together eventually. As long as I can just keep an open mind, stay positive, and just keep kind of rolling around some ideas. Pen to pad. Sketch it out. You know that stupid book, the, what do they call it? The Vision, or the, what the hell is it called? Ugh, stomach acid. I don't remember what it's called, but it's kind of just like, you just think about what you want to happen and just think about it all the time, and eventually it becomes real. And it's kind of a stupid premise, very simple, but it's kind of, I mean, it kind of works. If you're thinking about something all the time, then you'll kind of make it reality. So, at least more probable than if you just don't think about it. And you kind of an obvious premise, but if you think about what you want to do, you're way more likely to do it. Probably. So, I don't know. I just know I don't want to work at some fucking job that I don't want to work at for 30 years and hate my life. So, if I'm doing something more for me and to help people around me, but actually be doing it for myself as opposed to for a rich guy that I work for, it just sounds way more fulfilling. So, in due time, with enough coffee and caffeine and brain power and eating healthy and sleeping, I feel like we could accomplish some stuff. All these other people seem to be doing it, so why not us? So, at some point, we'll have a business meeting. We'll get a little team together, a little think tank. I think that's a good idea. If I can get like 4 people that I love and trust into a room, we can bounce some ideas around, I think we could probably get some cool shit going. But first things first, I need my damn car back, which I think I'll be doing this month. I think around the 10th, I'll be able to go get a blowy device, which I'm not super stoked about, but I am stoked to have wheels again. So, whatever it takes. And then that'll kind of give me a little attaboy, a little mission accomplished halfway through until I get to the end of my classes, which is November 8th, God willing, and if I just show up to the stupid classes. So I'm going to keep plugging away at that, work my part-time, make a little bit of extra money, and yeah. Been just going on long walks. The other day it rained, so I actually wore a jacket for the first time in a while. My dad gave me this Carhartt jacket. And the funny thing about Carhartt jackets is they're like $200. But as I was wearing it and walking to Walmart, all I could think was I look like a homeless person. What is it about $200 Carhartt jackets that you look like a fucking hobo? And so I got halfway to Walmart and I just took it off, put it in my backpack. I was like, I look like an idiot. I generally don't really care what people think of me, but wearing that stupid Carhartt jacket, it's so functional. It works so good, sturdy. You look like shit. I don't know. I never really understood that. Like these rednecks that are walking around, they look like shit, and they're wearing like $400 of product. They're really balling, but they look like hobos. I don't know. That's just a strange thing I was thinking of. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I really got. It's a lot of the same crap. So, work in progress, but we got some business ideas floating around. We got some willpower. And, yeah, just trying to have a positive message this week as I preach on my podcast, on the Bartenders Anonymous podcast. By golly, we'll get somewhere eventually. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good week. This one's going to be kind of short and sweet, I think, because I'm just knocking it out. Didn't do it yesterday because the lady was home. And as you know, I cannot do a podcast with anybody else in the house. So I had some moments of free time this afternoon. So I'm knocking this motherfucker out. But yeah, if you got some business ideas floating around, put them on paper. Because it's not the craziest thing in the world. You just go get a loan from the bank. Really what everything seems to come down to is credit. With good credit, all things are possible. You just go get the money from the bank. It's all make-believe anyways. Nothing's real. Except your credit score. That credit score is real. That's all they care about. So, I don't know. It's fun to think about. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cut this off and go about my day. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe I'll go for a quick bike ride. The sun is shining, but it's not too hot. Might be kind of a perfect day to do it. I don't know. But I need to do something. I need to stretch out these old bones. So, love you guys. Hope you have a good week. Good weekend. I'm going to go to work for my work week, my Saturday, Sunday. Try not to fight any servers or dumb guys or unruly guests. Yeah. Hopefully next week is more interesting because this week was not very interesting. But whatever. Not every week can be super interesting and inspiring, and You got to make it inspiring. What is that fucking book called? The Vision. I know somebody out there knows what that book is called. I've never read it, but I get the gist of it. So think about your dreams and write them on paper, and then they'll just turn into reality. Just like that. It's that simple. All right, love you guys. I'm still have a hard time ending these. Don't know how to end them. Bartenders Anonymous Podcast, episode 15. End scene. End.